Hey everybody, what's good? And welcome to your Saturday morning right here at Coach and Company. It's going to be a big day in college football. I am the coach. I navigate this ship 7 days a week. We'll be live tomorrow morning for week 12 of the NFL. A big time thank you to all of our premium members as well. We've had 2 premium pop-ups this last week. We'll see what we have this coming week with Thanksgiving on the horizon. Now, joining me every single Saturday is my guy, Mikey P from Sure Dog USA. Mikey, big week, big day in college football. Last night, kind of a fun night, but today is serious. What do you think as we come out of this weekend? Kind of the narrative might be.
With all due respect to the top ranked teams in the country, I think the narrative might be, hey, why are we looking at teams 8 to 25? Like, we want to continue to see the best be battle tested. How can you get ready for a playoff game by playing? Oh, let me check my notes. Auburn's playing Mercer. Okay. All right. So I listen. I think we'll have some very good matchups today. But the thing I'm worried about is I believe as we're continuing to improve college football, we've got to improve this part. I want to see these top teams, even if you're not a top 12 team, these respective programs need higher competition.
I think the thing that would fix that, because Ohio State's playing Rutgers, that's a conference matchup, nothing they can do. A&M's playing Samford with an M, and Georgia, who moved into the 4 spot, is playing Charlotte. I think what's going to happen is you increase it to 16 games to where you tell an SEC team, hey, even with 3 or 4 really good losses, you can still get into the playoffs. And if that's the case, then you would put, maybe not at this point of the season, maybe they need to change how they do the conference season, but maybe another early season top game like Ohio State played Texas this year. But I think they need some assurances that if I play another tough team and I lose, it's not going to ultimately hurt me. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, I absolutely agree. And I really like that idea. I don't want to be like poo poo towards the schedule, but it's November 22nd. Like, I just want to see these teams. Because at this point, no one's talking about Alabama losing to Florida State. We're talking about Alabama and all that they've done and these other teams. So if we're gonna go off recency bias, make me believe in these playoff teams. That's all I want.
I understand. I think everybody else does too. I promise you that if you talk to A&M, Ohio State, or Georgia, the players don't want to risk injury against those 3 teams. They don't. But that's ultimately, this schedule was made 3 or 4 years ago. And that's just kind of what it is. Now, speaking of the SEC, there are some big games this weekend. And Oklahoma has been shocking the world. Their last 2 weeks at Tennessee, they get it done. At Alabama, and they get it done. So now, and I severely disagree with Zeno from the morning show yesterday, where he said if Oklahoma wins out, they don't necessarily have a guaranteed trip to the playoffs. They're already in the playoffs right now. How do they go backwards if they beat Missouri, who's been ranked all year, and then LSU, who has a great reputation as a name school? Do you agree with me, or do you agree with Zeno?
I agree with you. The thing I love about this game, coach, it's an SEC matchup meets the Big Ten. This game's going to be all about defense and running the football. For Missouri, it's going to be Ahmad Hardy. I know there's questions about Bo Perbula and his availability coming into this game, but you have the Sooners defense ranks 3rd in the nation against the run. Missouri Tigers ranked 12th against the pass in the country. This is going to be a lot of fun. It's one of those games where is Mateer going to put the Sooners on his back, or is it going to be a 6-7? No, is it going to be a 10-7 SEC shootout that we love to see in late November? I think this is going to be a very good game, but give me the Sooners here. I think I might have to take the under though.
Rarely do you see in college football that defenses can really dominate. And when you go into Alabama and you go into Tuscaloosa and you play, they were clearly the better team last week. They were. And I think that the more they have these big wins, the more they believe that whether it's home or whether it's away, we're still good enough to win in this conference. I feel like this is the first year, Mikey, that since they joined the SEC, they're actually playing like that. Because it takes a lot when you're playing a good game every single week. outside of the original, the occasional Sanford or Charlotte, as we talked about. All right, game number 2, and this is also basically an elimination game. Basically an elimination game. And you got USC, who very quietly out here in LA has had a pretty decent season. And the schedule has fallen to where if they win out, they will be a playoff team. But it all starts this week. Now, for anybody that says that Oregon can't get beat at home, Indiana says, excuse me, we're at the front door. They went to this stadium, this city, earlier in the year and scored 30 and beat Oregon. Can USC do the same thing?
Well, little fun fact here for you, Coach. Lincoln Riley, since USC has joined the Big Ten, has 2 road wins outside of the state of California, and they came this year against Nebraska and Purdue. Not exactly a gauntlet of Big Ten teams on the road, so they will be tested. And this is not an upset pick, but I think I really do like USC to cover here. To cover. I have not been impressed with Oregon at home. And then they go to Iowa and barely beat a Hawkeyes team that was coming off an offensive explosion. USC has an offense. Iowa does not, and Oregon barely beat Iowa. I understand Oregon's at home, but I like USC to cover here. I would not be shocked if USC won this game outright.
It kind of feels like Lincoln Riley is the Brian Kelly of the West, that he was an offensive guru. He had 2 great jobs at OU, left for USC. A lot of people are like, what? Leaving Oklahoma for USC, but he was getting $10 million plus. But ever since he's been there, he's not been able to win the big one. This is probably the best opportunity Lincoln Riley has. Would you agree to? Because all you want as a college coach is give me a chance. And if I have to win games, isn't that what you want as a college team? Is just the chance to get in?
That's all you want. And correct me if I'm wrong, Coach, but it feels like Lincoln Riley's kind of been the forgotten name in the college football coaching circle. We have so many openings, and not a single person is saying, oh, maybe Lincoln Riley will leave USC, or maybe Lincoln Riley is a better fit here. We're not hearing that. And the USC Trojans are ranked 15th in the country. Like, you want to talk about a coach not getting his respect? Lincoln Riley can not only get his respect today, but as much as the SEC game we just talked about being a defensive showdown, this is going to be offensive explosion. Both these teams averaging over 38 points a game on the season. Lincoln Riley, you're an offensive guru. That's what we were told. Let's see it against Oregon tonight.
What do we make of the total? You just mentioned 76 combined points on average. Doesn't always equate to overs, but does this one?
Given what these 2 teams can do offensively, given the track record of these 2 programs, and given what's at stake, give me the over, Coach. We don't play unders at the brand.
No, we hate unders. We hate unders. You just motivated me right there. I'm motivated. Over 59.5. Book it. Now, game number 3 may not be as much of an offensive explosion as USC and Oregon. That's all I'm saying. We've got Tulane and Temple. And the thing I love about doing shows with you is we don't sit around and go, oh, this game sucks or that game's like a lot of people do. I like to look at the glass half full. And in the group of 5, this is an exciting race. And I don't care if they're not as good or they're just setting up to get beat in the first round. So what? Somebody gets in. That's the way that it's set up. And right now, even though Tulane is in that 12th spot, James Madison, because of the schedule, is the team that has the highest percentage to get that group of 5 spot. How impressive does Tulane have to be to keep that 12 spot this week?
Well, Coach, like an onion, I've got many layers to pull back here. Probably surprising in a game like this. Number one, I've learned from a previous colleague of mine and mentor, don't make fun of Temple, because I once made fun of Temple on a radio platform and their football program while I was in broadcasting school. And said player said, "What? I'm sorry, what school did you go to? Yeah, microphones on your helmets. Don't make fun of Temple." So I'm not here to make fun of Temple. They could put up a fight, and at 9.5, something tells me that Vegas sees not an easy win for Tulane, but a fighting chance for Temple. So I'm very, very intrigued by that. But here's the beauty of what you were just talking about. We are here on Saturday morning looking at the possibility of Tuesday night, the diehard Tulane fans, because they are there. They're mostly students going, How we just beat Temple? How are we under being James Madison? Or vice versa. James Madison diehards going, how is Tulane ranked ahead of us? This is the beauty of it. And I'm right there with you, coach. I don't care if they're going to get smacked in the first round or whatever they will be. This is what college football needed. This is the beauty of it. And on any given Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, hell, college football plays every day. So I'm here for it, coach. I do like Tulane in this game, but I'm here for all those layers.
By the way, Tuesday is the last night of the 49 straight days of football. We got Maction on Tuesday, no Maction on Wednesday, and then Thursday really ramps things up for the next month or so. James Madison, they have Washington State somehow on their schedule, and then at Coastal Carolina, and right now they're ranked 21st. I guess that'd be the AP rank, depending on what I'm looking at. But and then I guess it's I'm not as up on all of the group of 5 schedules, maybe as I am on everything else. But it'll be exciting to see how it plays out. And I also like, just like in the NCAA tournament, it's a little different in football, but I like to see a potential upset. We saw Arizona State last year, and that was a lot of fun. So to me, I love the playoff. I really, really do, and I'm not going to be a curmudgeon about a team one and done. Plus, it's like what, $10 million to your football fund or your school's athletic fund if you make it to the playoffs.
And let me flip it this way, coach. What about the Temple Owls? What about a team that everyone's overlooking because Tulane and James Madison, that's the only focus. What about the teams that they're playing against? You don't think these kids on Temple are going to get up for a chance to knock Tulane out? It does nothing for them, but if you can knock them out and go, man, we cost Tulane, that matters to some of these players. So
1,000, 1,000, 1,000. Let's go to the ACC, because this is another conference, Mikey, that can't seem to figure out who wants to take that spot. And I say that spot because there's not going to be 2. There's going to be 1. And right now, Pitt and Georgia Tech are very much alive to get in if they can have a good last couple of weeks. Right now, Georgia Tech, a very slight favorite, 2.5 at home, but a high total over 60. Your take?
Coach, because we are on camera, I wanted to let you know that over the past 7 days, I didn't slam my head on my desk because I wanted to show up here with a hematoma over this Pitt Panthers football team and their head coach. Notre Dame didn't matter to you last week, and now somehow you're only a 2.5 point dog. Georgia Tech is going to run them off the field. This over will hit, and everyone that has some sense of pride on the Pitt Panthers football team enter the transfer portal. I'm sorry. I hate to be so sour on what a head coach has said and done, but when you say what you said, college game day's in your backyard, and you overlook Notre Dame for this game, yeah, you're going to get punched in the mouth by Georgia Tech.
I never thought that in college, which is supposed to be about rivalries and games, and there's only one national champion. And a trip to a bowl matters. It matters. To have a matchup against Notre Dame, a top 10 team in the country, and to say, and we really don't care what happens here because our focus is over here. This is our journey. This is our highway to the playoffs. Is so if I'm a player and I'm thinking about going to Pitt, he just killed his next 2 or 3 recruiting classes. Why would I want to go play for a coach like that? The answer is I would not. I want to play against all the big boys, and I want to give all of my best effort against every single one of them. Last week was not that. It was almost like the players came out with the mentality that they played that way. What they scored 15, they had a late touchdown, 39-15 or whatever the course. I think they still covered. What was it? Do you remember the line in that game? I don't remember.
I don't
But
remember the line, but I do know. Well, they got blown. Notre Dame
it was
put
like
Bell.
39-15.
Yeah,
Yeah, I can't remember what. But anyway, it's I just don't like it. And in college, you can't treat college like the pros. In the pros, I understand when you get to week 17, Mikey, and the game doesn't matter because next week playing your division rival for a chance to get in the playoffs, that matters. I get that. College, I don't get that. College, I don't get that. Now, let's go to the Big 12. I believe the Big 12 will also be a one bid league. And I believe that team is going to be Texas Tech, but they still have to play. They've already blown out BYU. Cincinnati has had a great year, and they were rolling until they went to Utah. And I remember Utah was giving 11, and we said on this show, "What in the world?" And then Utah went out there and absolutely demolished Cincinnati because they are so dynamic on the ground. How Utah has lost a couple of times, I'll never know. If you watch them, I'll never know. But BYU beat Utah. They beat Utah by 3. Make it make sense. But right now they're favored over Cincinnati. So I guess they're going back to the mutual opponent, I guess.
I guess, Coach, I don't want to say that Cincinnati can win. Actually, yes, I do. Cincinnati can win this game on the field. I am not impressed with BYU taking on Texas Tech, barely being able to cross the 50-yard line and then coming back and whooping up on TCU. That does not do anything for me. Cincinnati has been battle tested all year, and they started out 5-0 in the conference. Cincinnati can play football. And so I'll take them with plus 2.5. So maybe I won't take them to win on the field, but I'll definitely take them with the 2.5. But I have my mind open to them winning this game outright.
And teasers are not something you do in college. It's way too volatile, and margin of victory does matter. But man, Cincinnati plus 8.5 at home, that feels pretty good to me. That feels pretty good to me. All right. We wrap things up with the upset special of the week. And Mikey, for those people who are brand new to our little Saturday show, how many weeks in a row have you hit your upset special?
10. 10 straight weeks ATS. Actually, I think they're going to call it against the Mikey moving forward because you can't. I mean, I'm just knocking spreads out left and right. Coach, this week I'm going
Whoa,
with.
whoa,
Oh,
what,
oh, oh,
what did you just say? You're doing what?
I'm knocking spreads out.
That's what I thought you said. Please continue.
I don't know what you heard. I hope I didn't misspeak. I'm so worried. Okay, so this week, Coach, in honor of everything we talked about on Coaching Company, in honor of some of the best storylines we had all week, give me the Fighting Bill Belichick's +7 against Duke. Boo thing, baby.
The most supportive boyfriend at 79 years of age in the history of boyfriends at a cheerleading adult competition ever. Boo thing, he's got your back. It would not surprise me, Mikey, if he is the what do you call it when you pay for everything for an adult cheer team, which I didn't even know was a thing until now. I bet you Belichick's paying for all of it.
Chaperone. Wait. But let me say this here, Coach.
Okay.
Okay. So North Carolina has to win out to become bowl eligible.
Okay.
Duke had a chance to get into the ACC title game last week. They've lost 2 straight now to UConn and Virginia. I think that's just an emotional letdown. All we need is for it to stay within 7. And I believe the last 3 games between these two teams have been combined 6 or 10 points, somewhere around there. So when I look at Bill Belichick, a man who, yeah, we all mocked him all season, but now he knows. He knows a few things, Coach. He's got to beat Duke and he's got to beat NC State. Rivalries matter in college football, and they also matter to Bill Belichick. Bowls matter because, well, when you have a 24-year-old girlfriend, she probably has a fruit bowl on your living room table. She probably still eats bowls of cereal. And Coach Belichick Belichick wants to deliver a bowl game to North Carolina.
Oh my God.
We're going for 11, folks.
Yeah. I always think back because a lot of people think that Belichick is the curmudgeon you see in front of the camera. I can tell you, and this may be one of the most amazing things in the history of sport. When I was at ESPN and I hosted First Take, every summer we'd have the coaches come in, the college coaches come in, and they do a day, and we call it the car wash, right? So Nick Saban is on First Take with me, and he's telling us at a commercial break how him and Bill Belichick, who are best friends, by the way, don't know if you knew that, and they used to sneak into Rolling Stone concerts and Van Halen and all this cool stuff. And I was like, I just don't see Belichick being like a cool guy. He goes, guys, he loves messing with people. He's got a great sense of humor, and he takes his media stuff so not seriously that he's created this character. And I'm thinking as I'm watching him in the back of this cheerleading competition, I'm thinking they're going, he's laughing at all of us. And when he's hanging out with Boothang, 50 years younger, he's laughing at all of us. What 75-year-old man would not want to date an attractive 24-year-old young woman? Let's be honest. Hell, what 65 year 55 45-year-old man? Let's be honest. These people who are hating on Bill Belichick are jealous. They're jealous that he's won 7 Super Bowls or 6 and he got Boothang.
What did you just say? Did you just say bowl? Oh my God, he is the bowl coach. Coach, he is. Bill Belichick has been made for bowls, Super Bowls, college bowls, cereal bowls. I love it, Bill Belichick.
Oh man. Well, they've been playing better. Duke looked horrendous last week, but horrendous
Yeah,
against Virginia. I don't know how they bounced back from that. All right. We never like to take up a lot of your time. 20 to 30 minutes. That's our sweet spot. Do not forget, you can see it on the screen. If you want to become a premium member, do that. It literally pays for itself in one live bet. And we have been crushing it at night on the nighttime shows. If you want to get a piece of merch, you see that in the bottom left-hand corner. We got some new merch coming out for the holidays in the next couple of weeks as well. And then the middle premium, we're going to be starting watch parties with us, Vince Russo, and Mikey. We're going to be looking back at some matches that I had back in the day that Vince Russo wrote back in the day, but they're going to be premium members only. So that's going to start in the next 3 weeks to a month. So people need to get in right now and be ready for that.
I can't wait for that because I spent my Friday morning show prep for this brand. Across my YouTube algorithm, I got Jonathan Coachman runs from DX. And man, what a
Oh,
9-minute video I got to watch.
brother, that took all day to shoot that one. Was it the one with the tumbleweed? There was a tumbleweed going down. Oh my goodness. Working with Triple H and Shawn Michaels was so much fun, except for the last time. Because the last time was I had just signed my ESPN deal 3 days previous. And I show up in upstate New York. What's the city that starts with an R?
Rochester.
Rochester. So we're in Rochester, and I walk in, and our stage manager says to me, and I quote, "Are you wearing thong underwear?" And I said, "Not something I normally get asked on a Monday at noon, but no, I am not." And she goes, "You need to go out." Yes, she said, "You need to go out and find some." So I went to the mall, Spencer's Gifts. And wouldn't you know it, aisle 2, right there, zebra print, leopard print. So I grabbed them and I had a selection. I walk back into the arena. They're building a wall, Mikey, for me to be tossed headfirst through and then dangle with my buttocks towards the camera and with said thong underwear on, and then they would paint DX on my derriere. Do you know how many times over the years somebody has sent me that as a meme or a GIF?
That's just rude. I mean, I would never do that. I wanted you to escape the rundown and the chasing from Triple H and Shawn Michaels. I was screaming for you, Coach. Mrs.
Thank
Mike
you.
P was like, "It's 4 o'clock in the morning, and you worked with the guy. Why are you watching his highlight reel on YouTube?"
Did I did I end up in the trash can in that one? Did I end up in a trash can?
I think it
We
was
were so
no, you tripped over like right before the exit door over a cleaning
yeah,
person,
yeah,
and then
yeah.
they gave away your money to Crime Time.
Yeah, crime time, crime time, crime time. Oh, I love
Money,
those guys.
money.
I love those guys. Money, 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 money. All right, that's going to do it for today. We'll be back live tomorrow at 10 a.m. Eastern time sharp to get you set for what is going to be a pivotal day in the National Football League. In the meantime, have a great day. Thank you for hanging out with us every single day. It means the world. For Mikey P, producer man, I am the coach. We'll see you next time right here on Coach and Company.